there. I seem to start a lot of these with, I wasn't expecting to make a video. Okay, the ones with the cats and the windowsill feeding station, that, obviously I need to pick up my phone and video it. But, there's doings about on the sill as we speak. Yeah, but a lot of these, or several of them at least, have been, I'm watching video segments, news, whatever, current events, and I just see one thing or two things, several different places covering them, people, and it just riles me up. I know, I am intense. Hey, Judy, you're pretty intense. Yeah, I know. And when I'm on a good day with energy and the ADHD is not like flying everywhere, yeah, I can be, actually, I get intense, and I think it's just me. I've heard it all my life. When I was younger, people couldn't express it. But as I've gotten older, and around older people more often, they've expressed, and of course, therapists through the years, they've expressed that it's just intense. It's like, yeah, and I guess when I like watch myself as I'm interacting type of thing, if that makes sense to you, because it does to me. I do see that. I can, when I'm really into a topic, which there are a plethora of topics that I can be that way with, I get very passionate. And I don't just feel emotions like here. I feel them here. And I always have. I mean, down from my gut when I'm crying my liver out, I mean, yeah, so I get that, but, getting all emotional. It's the time of year with a lot of things, dates, but anyway, stop it, Judy. Okay, we'll just get me into a fired up thing and it'll stop right away. This shutdown on the government coming up, I mean, like, fast. It's all the Republicans' fault. And even a bunch of your own Republicans have said that publicly. And the diehards, there's that billionaire dude in there. Like, he gives a shit. And I want to know, when Congress is the reason that the government is shutting down, especially when it's like just one party that's the reason, or only like part of just a handful of people in one party are causing this. Why do they still get their pay when military and other government employees don't? Why does Congress still get it? They're the ones that caused it. I mean, in this one specifically, it is specifically just a handful of Republicans causing this. Then how about those people supporting the shutdown get their paychecks stopped until they get their shit together? How about that? Because I think that might matter to them, even though they get $174,000 a year to go to white supremacist events, have podcasts, go on podcasts, fly here to this so they can see Trump here or there, or this is what they're getting paid for, because they're certainly and sure the hell not governing, are they? The Democrats are trying to govern by themselves because we have a bunch of children. Spoiled, narcissistic, power-hungry, greedy, selfish, self-entitled children governing on the Republican Party. That's why military and government employees will not get paid. But they get paid. The ones causing the shutdown for no good reason, no legitimate reason, are still getting paid. Explain to me how that's right. Explain to me how checks and balances keep that from happening. They're the one causing it, and they still get paid? No. There is no way on God's green earth and no way in hell that I accept that that's an acceptable and logical check and balance way to do it. If it's Congress, or specifically certain people that obviously in this instance we see who they are, then let them put their money where their purse is. If they really believe in why they're doing the shutdown, then let's see you prove it with not getting your pay. Let's see that happen. Prove that to me. Prove to me how much you believe in what you claim and what you spew from those little holes in your face. Okay? Because I guarantee they wouldn't be taken to that very, very easily. Oh, no. That's not how it works. Yeah, we know. And how it's been working hasn't been working. It's only been working for those making the effing laws. You know, it occurred to me, with Dianne Feinstein passing away, she was 90. She served in Congress for 30 years. That means she didn't even get into Congress till she was 60. I'm 60. How would you like to have me get involved for the Democratic Party? How about that? Because guess what? This mouth, this hair, that ain't shutting up, and that is not going to let any little slimy, lying, gaslighting, corrupt, greedy little politician screw me and my constituents over. Oh, hell no. It's a good thing Katie Porter and I don't live in the same state, you know? Because they couldn't handle one state in their face that loud. But yeah, it's the Katie Porters. You know, I'm not a far cry from Katie Porter, okay? You don't see Katie Porter dressing up all like, you know, ho hookup groper has been dressing up, and how, you know, little cross twits, little, you know, slut red dress that she goes to meet Trump in while she thinks about rubbing his cardboard crotch, because that's Christian values, while Gropert's, you know, groping and being groped with children around in a public place. Because, you know, you don't think I'd face them off anytime they want? Bring it on, girlfriends. And I am not afraid of you men either, okay? You're all a bunch of scum with the decorum in the house type of the rules. Just playing your damn games, trying to like get little kicks, little second grade playground kicks in on the Democrats. Oh, they love Fetterman, we'll just like F him up. Yeah, well maybe your little hoe dresses with a groper and cross twit. Maybe you better start thinking about how they dress too, because they dress like little slut hookup queens, to be honest with you. So yeah, and I really don't understand why politicians need to be wearing fake eyelashes. And yes, I know Jasmine Crockett does, but you know, it's not necessary. We're not there for our pretty little pictures, okay? We're not there for that. Bader Ginsburg was not there for that. Diane was not there for that. Okay? You didn't ever see them playing that BS, and you never saw Nancy Pelosi pulling that BS either. I'm just tired of it. And Jasmine, I love you, honey. Jasmine, I love you. And some of the other Democrat politicians that are wearing like huge eyelashes, hon, I love you, and you're absolutely fabulous. But dial it down a little, because it's just making you look so much like Groper. It's really no, please. You're not a fake person. You're a real person, sweetheart. Have real lashes, okay? And even if you don't, if you have an issue with something, just at least normal like eyelashes. It's just that to me is like decorum stuff, okay? You know, as long as the shorts are not, they're long shorts, they're not indecent, they're not really tight. What's the difference? Okay, especially in summertime and such. You know, wouldn't you rather have people making decisions that affect everybody in this country? Every person, animal, resource, everything in their control. I'd rather have them comfortable, okay, in normal clothes that don't cost a shitload of money, okay? Because that would tell me you know the really important things. First was first with money, you know? And the first things are not clothing and luxury makeup and manicures and fake nails, okay? That cost, like, a lot of them are probably a lot they're paying. Do it yourself while you're backstage at your KKK event. And I'm not talking to Jasmine Crockett, I'm talking to Cross Twit and Groper, you know. But Jasmine, honey, please, I love you. You don't need them. You really don't need them at all. You are enough. Unfortunately, people like Groper need them, but they don't work. So, you know, she just looks like she's playing dress up to me. You know, but, you know, Groper, you know, fake nails, fake hair, paraprofessional that I spoke to. Oh, she was going off. Somebody was arguing that was her hair, and it's not. Fake boobs, fake veneers, fake eyelashes, fake faith, Christian, not so much. You're just a big old ball of fake, Groper. And Cross Twit, you get a little bit of a paunch. You probably should stop wearing that little hoe red dress, because your cult leader, the orange toddler, you're never going to be groping his pants. Your cardboard cutout is about all you're ever going to get from him. So I don't know why you're embarrassing yourself and completely degrading yourself on a global stage. You're just like a little come and carry person, shall we say. A little come and carry girl. How's that? Come and carry the bucket kind of girl. Because that's all I'm going to say. Some of you get exactly what I'm saying. And that's exactly what Groper is. And that's exactly what the little tramp Cross Twit is. She just conveniently happens to be dating somebody that pretty much has run of a network. Wow. Go figure. Who'd knew? Yeah. That was by accident, I'm sure. Just like Groper didn't know the guy that was groping her and that she was groping was a Democrat. Not a Democrat. Please. You knew. You knew. And it was not your first date. So, yeah. I did not realize that Feinstein was not in Congress until she wasn't even in the politics until she was 60. She didn't get into Congress. And like I said, I'm 60. um, yeah, they couldn't handle me, seriously. Because trust me, you've seen me just spew things, and I actually am holding back to some degree. But I most certainly can have decorum, and I don't need to sit up there on a bench with a gavel, banging it and screaming decorum on the floor to get decorum. Trust me on that. Some of us have actually worked in the trenches a little bit. No, I was not military. My family is not a military family, but I was a corrections officer too, grade two, for a decade in the Arizona state prisons, and not the women's. I worked those on overtime, but so it's not like I'm completely clueless to the way things are and the base nature of people. Trust me, I know when you're lying. I know. I have a foolproof method, and I'll learn English too. I have a foolproof method, and it's called your gut. And I never really listened to it all the time for many decades. And a couple decades ago, it started like kind of kicking me a little bit, like making me notice that every time I did something that was against my better instinct, it didn't go right, or something bad happened, or something good didn't happen. So yeah, about a decade ago, after the absolute worst thing at the time in my life, it now stands as the second worst thing in my life, because the first worst thing in my life happened 2 years ago. But I know what it's like to be homeless, and I'll bet you there aren't many in Congress that even had a few months taste of that. Okay? And the fact that Fetterman is so real with the average person, and that he comes from wealth, is a lot of credit to him and his parents, for not allowing him to, get that attitude that a lot of people in Congress have. And a lot of them that aren't even from wealthy families, like the two bimbos I've been mentioning, and they're not the only ones. AOC, she came from working people and not like white collar, that she's a bartender, okay? She's dynamo. Katie Porter, she's just a mom, and she doesn't wear fancy boo stuff. She's not all into like, oh, how do I look today? Am I presentable? Am I not wrinkled? Is everything covered? Am I good to go? Do I match? Yeah, everything looks like good to go. Let's go. That kind of thing. Because she's thinking about her job, not about the foof stuff. While all these other little bimbos, and that goes for the men, are Gates. He's like a Jimmy Neutron wannabe, okay? He looks like Jimmy Neutron, but he's like 100th as intelligent as. And the empathy level is like -50 for the dude, okay? Those kind of people I'm including too, just because bimbo does not just mean females, okay? There's plenty of bimbos that are men around. But yeah, this whole shutdown shit, because that's my ADHD, but I do remember where I started. I forget things, so I'm going to get lost on my tangents, but I do reel it back in. And yes, I started with the shutdown. So that's my attitude. Y'all, how about the ones who are standing by the shutdown because even though they know it's bullshit and there's absolutely no reason to do it, How about we just stop their paychecks? Because they're the problem. Any other job, when you've identified the problem in the company, you dismiss them and you let them go because they're not fulfilling the job contract where you do A, B, and C and you get paid this. Well, they haven't been doing A, B, and C, and they're deliberately doing that to hold us hostage. And we don't play that shit. Okay? You work in the government. You should know that. Especially the Democrats. We don't play that shit. Okay? Especially when it's a bullshit reason. And it's a greedy little reason. And it's an immoral reason. Nope. And I'll tell you what, you Republicans have been so used to Democrats being civil, our good comrades across the aisle kind of, behavior, even though you just insulted them to their face outside in the hall, they still have tried to be civil, hold their tongues. We don't need to keep pointing out that so-and-so this did and this corrupted, you know what I mean? And Republicans have been like just children on a playground, on an elementary playground, maybe a preschool playground. And it's about time that more than just Raskin and Porter and AOC start yelling, okay? The Democrats, and it's not just in the federal, it's in the state ones too. Tennessee, other states, the Democrats are finally saying, you know what, putting this shit away. Oh, not the camera. Putting this shit away. We are done with the civility. This is straight up talk now. We are done with the being nice with our gentlewoman across the aisle. That's about as far as you're gonna get from us. For being congenial and playing nice and working together. You cannot work together with people that sit there and say, I'm telling you right now, we're not working with you. We won't do anything. We'll vote no for everything. We won't do a damn thing, and we agree to nothing. Here's our list of demands. You do everything we want, or we refuse to do anything, and the government and everybody else gets screwed. How do you work with them? The answer is there is no working with that shit. There is no working with that shit. There is, as much as the Democratic person, the typical Democratic person, we don't like having to be straight up rude about it. We try to tell you something in a nice way more than once, twice, 3 times. We're trying to be good parents. But you Republicans are being like completely stubborn, deliberate little bratty children. You cannot work with that. When they sit there and say, telling you right now, doing shit. Every bill is a no. And I say we recess early. And I don't care. I'll just sit here all day. I'm not doing it. I'm not agreeing to nothing. How do you work with that? You don't. And any other business, any other job, they'd be out on their ass. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, YouTube. I think we're long enough into the video. They'd be out on their ear. Yeah, the ear. That's what I meant. In a heartbeat. And you're not going to get 2 weeks severance either, for something like that. That obstinance. You're still getting paid to do your job. And you're not doing your job. And by not doing your job, you're deliberately not letting other people get paid who want to do their job. Because you're a spoiled little bratty, greedy, self-entitled little bastards. Punks. punks. That's what you are. Greedy, narcissistic little punks who are spoiled little children. Yep. It's pretty sad. But there's no working with that. And I am very glad that Democrats, as I said, not just in federal but in state houses too, have started to not just speak up but literally stand up. Look at Tennessee, for God's sake. Now she's running. Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Bring it, girlfriends. Bring it. So, yeah, I might be 60, but, well, hell, if Mitch can still be there, I certainly can. You haven't seen me zone off and freeze off and not know what's damn happening. I haven't been doing that. I might have ADHD, but that can work in your favor because my brain never stops. I go to sleep and it's charted on 7 burners back there. I wake up and it's on 5, but the other 2 fire up right away. That's my problem. My head doesn't stop. Unlike people like Mitch, who seems to be stopping rather frequently. Yeah, so, who knows? I, for the last year, I have been putting feelers out for any kind of, like, grassroots groups, especially that are geared toward women. I'm on disability. It's not like I don't have the flippin' time. Most of the time. Certain times a year are a little more busy than others. This time of year, it's like all these inspections for the housing vouchers and for the town and all these, all this kind of stuff and renewing things, that kind of stuff. But in general, that's about all I do, okay? I mean, you see, I paint, I write, I'm writing a book. There's a couple things I'm in the middle of doing. Some are on my grief journey. But we need more people in Congress from different walks of life and from different statuses of life, from different experiences, people that have had, different challenges, physical, mental, whatever. As long as we're in a okay shape, then, being emotional and feeling, it's not a crime, okay? And it's not a bad thing. Just because most people don't express any and all emotions in public, if it happens to come up, just because most people don't, doesn't mean it's a bad thing, okay? We'd be a little more connected, well, a lot more connected, if everybody expressed a little bit. And tears aren't always sad. Sometimes tears because something very much touched you. Just an interaction between 2 kids or so. You're just like, oh, that was sweet. What the hell's so bad about that? What is so bad about people seeing tears, even tears if they are for sorrow or grief or fear or whatever? But what's wrong with the other tears? What's wrong with people showing emotions and having to feel like they have to say, oh, I'm sorry. I've been trying not to say I'm sorry and apologize for being a sensitive person. I'm not going to apologize for being a sensitive person, damn it. If more people felt things more deeply, instead of feeling things here, if they felt it here, you can't see. A lot of people feel things here when they really feel something. I feel it here. I feel it in my solar plexus. I mean, that's how deep feelings go for me. They go there, okay? And instead of making people that connect with the earth, with others, with just vibes and themselves more intensely than others, why do we have to feel like the ones that are the odd ones? Maybe if more people felt a little more a little more often, maybe it'd be a better place. I mean, y'all haven't tried that. You've tried it the other way, and, well, look where we are right now, okay? Maybe we should try a different way, because that's kind of the definition of crazy, insanity, or whatever. Illogic is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. The result you want. You gotta change what you're doing. And you see what we're doing, what we've been doing in the Congress lineage. Just because your mom or your dad served in the Congress or, in Senate or House, doesn't mean you're going to be any good at it, or your uncle or whatever. It doesn't run in families like that, okay? It only runs in there because you hear being talked about as you're growing up. That's the only reason. Okay, that's the only link you have. And you have an in, but that doesn't necessarily make you fit for that kind of work. I mean, good Lord, can you imagine if that's the way the medical profession was, or the lawyer profession? I mean, that just like, well, that's what your dad did, so you can do it and you're good. You'll be good. That's not how it works. It's not how it works for any kind of talent or ability, and that's not how it works for politics. They're no different. And I am just tired of all these people, well, I'm doing the job because I don't need the money. No, you don't need the money, but you want more money, so you want to get in there and just be in there forever. They need to have people like me. Everybody should know, by the time they're my age, you should personally know somebody who served in either a state or a federal Congress, a Senate or whatever. Because term limits. And I'm talking term limits. I'm talking term limits for judges and SCOTUS and every damn job that's governmental. Okay? Every single one of them needs a term limit. This generation thing, this whole like decades there, that's why shit's not changing. Because you got the same shit making the same shit decisions and holding that seniority power of it. You're not going to change it until you start getting people, more people, like AOC, like Porter, okay? People that aren't from money. People that have had the freaking challenges. People that are recovered abusers of things, okay? Not personal, but like substance, because that's a chemical, and that has to do with, predisposed, because there's some people that can take all kinds of drugs and never get hooked on them because they're just not predisposed to that. They don't get hooked on alcohol, they just don't get predisposed on it. I don't seem to be that, I seem to be like that. But there are some people with genetics that it just runs in the family. My ex-husband's family was like that. Everybody in the family had a drinking problem somewhere. One of the uncles or more, one of the nephews, it's like you couldn't throw a freaking quarter on the table at a holiday without like half a dozen people being alcoholics. I don't care if it's by using cough syrup, NyQuil, literally by the case per week, but I'm not an alcoholic. I just have a cough. This shit needs to stop. And that's how you're going to stop it, by changing things. Changing rules. What is this with the decorum? Republicans just care about looks and appearances. Obviously, Trump's not as rich as he said he was all this time. Okay? That's all they care about. How you look, how your power is, what power it looks like you have, what wealth it looks like you have, what successes it looks like you have. Just because you ran a restaurant that poisoned the town and at the fair, and eventually, got kicked out of their building. Okay, just because that happened, you say, oh, well, I ran a restaurant. Yeah, you closed it because you're a congressperson. BS. Calling the flag on that one. Um, yeah, in fact, Gropert's book, no, I did not pay for it. Gropert's book, man, she ever gets indicted for something, just use the book as fucking evidence. Literally. This whole I've been a Christian, I've been God feeling girl all my life, crock of crap. She knows the people that it matters to are going to buy the book that like her. They're going to buy the book so she gets the money for it. And instead of saying, yeah, well, she was young. That's the way things are. People do. Everybody has their skeletons, crap. But when you keep doing repeatedly the same illicit, illegal things, and you enjoy it, and you brag about it, and then you keep doing it decades later, well, that's not what everybody does, okay? So, yeah, Republicans, I think, did not think that Democrats were going to put their civility papers away and just say, you know what, gloves are off, I'm done. I'll say the gentle person, the gentleman, the gentlewoman from whatever, but that's about as far as you're going to get, because that's about all the respect you deserve, okay? And that's only because you have a title. So, you get the respect that you earn, and they're earning in the negatives now. And the ones who want to shut it down, I say we take their paychecks. Why is there not a check or a balance to keep Congress in check? Who keeps them in check? Who keeps them in check when it comes to stuff like this? They could take care of SCOTUS issue real easy, because Congress is who has the control over SCOTUS salaries and the budget for SCOTUS, running all their assistance, all that money, programs, whatever they use, yeah, okay, servers, any of that shit, whatever it is, they control that. They could just cut it off until we get everything declared from all of them, and then have them step down, the ones that are obviously corrupt. They could do that. They could take care of SCOTUS if they wanted to. But when you're sitting there with people that are going, our orange god, our cult leader said stop his prosecutions or shut the government down and screw everybody, and that's what I'm doing, because the orange toddler told us to. What do you think he's going to give you for that? Oh my God. Just on the fact that they're still supporting him shows that their mentality, there's something not working right. That in itself should warrant all of them having mental tests. Honestly, their reasoning tests, or all of them should be seeing psychologists, therapists, because every single one of those people are screwed up in their thinking. Okay? It's either they're screwed up in their thinking, or they're just evilly base, disgusting excuses for human forms. It's one or the other. Take your pick, Jimmy Neutron idiot. Okay. My throat and the dimming light and my crappy webcam is telling me that I have been ranting for far too long. Far, far too long. But it does feel better getting it out, because, I live with my 2 cats, so they're not that good on philosophical or political debates. They're good listeners, but they just really, they lack in the input of the conversation. they just don't contribute that much to the conversation. Um, I mean, they contribute a lot of attention and they love you on me and they, you know, but they really don't contribute much else to the conversation. So it's difficult to vent when there's a kitty cat rubbing on you and purring and looking at you like you're just the everything, you know? It's kind of hard to get upset about the the dimwits. The screw crew, actually, is what I call them. That's the screw crew, because that's their main objective. Just screw everybody over. Screw you all. Screw everybody but me. And if it works for you too, that's good. But me, if it works for me, otherwise I don't care. I've been calling them that for a long time. But anyway, you all, looks like we're going to have this weather through the weekend. And they tell me, at least in my part of the world, that it's supposed to be nice and sunny. When I looked it up all week, I saw that beautiful yellow circle. And I was like, what's that? Oh, that's right. That's the sun. I haven't seen that in so long on the reports. I forgot what a sun looked like. But it's supposed to be nice all next week. So we'll have our little late autumn and Indian summer. So everybody be careful in the rain if you're out there where it's rainy. And have a little bit of patience with each other, okay? Just that. Just turn up the patience, whatever your level is right now. Just turn it up a quarter turn, and do that every couple days. And before you know it, you'll start be thinking, would you just move? What the hell? Okay, so maybe they're having a bad day. Give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't hear me yelling. The only one getting upset is me. Just try that. And about a month, 21 days it takes to make a habit or break a habit. 21 days. That's science. Most like typical habits. I'm not obviously like a serious substance abuses might take longer. But yeah, like just bad habits in general, or you want to get a good habit like drinking water more often. You have to just keep purposely, like notes, whatever you have to do. A little alarm that pops up every hour that says, drink your water. Whatever. Just do that 21 days. And that's not that long, really, if you think about it. As a kid, it's a long time. These days, wait. What just happened? Wasn't it 21 days ago? That's all it takes for a habit. 21 days. So, I don't always take my preaching. I try. But, I'm gonna ditch out of here. Peace out. Be safe. And, be more Democrat. Be more democratic in your dealings and your thinkings, please. You don't have to become a Democrat, but give a shit about others. Even if you don't have to ever deal with the situation, that doesn't mean you vote against it, okay? Because a grandkid of yours might have needed that. And if you keep voting the way you are, that won't be available for them. So, and if you don't have grandkids, I don't have any grandkids, so I don't give a shit. That's sad that you feel that way, because I don't understand that. Even if it doesn't affect me personally, abortion, I still can go for an hour and argue with you about that. Just because it doesn't affect me or any of my offspring now, that doesn't mean I should stop caring about it. For other people, that situation. So, if my grandmothers hadn't cared about it, it wouldn't have been there when I was at the age that I might have needed something like that, okay, or did need something like that. So, just because it doesn't affect you or your immediate people around you, Doesn't mean you shouldn't give a shit about it. Just saying. Maybe that's just me. Peace out, guys. Be safe this weekend.